Okay, I have a question. Have you ever been at a thrift store, flea market, estate sale, garage sale, whatever, and picked something up and immediately thought, who the hell owns this? Not even because it's particularly valuable, but sometimes the opposite. Uh, It's a weird little ashtray or a souvenir glass from a restaurant that closed 40 years ago, a piece of costume jewelry, a postcard of that somebody bought on a vacation and never actually mailed. And suddenly I know I need to know its entire story. Who bought it? Where did they live? Did they love this thing? Was this important to them? Or did they completely forget about it? Was it sitting in someone's cabinet for 50 years or was it displayed happily? And most importantly, how did it end up in my hands for $4.90? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about stories we bring home and hopefully sometimes haunted, but hopefully not haunted. So grab your drink, get comfortable, and welcome back to My Tie-In Show. Hello, my tropical weirdos, and welcome back to My Tie and Chill. If you're new here, welcome. This is our little corner of the world where we talk about vintage, art, creativity, roadside weirdness, tropical escapism, and whatever rabbit hole you have fallen into this week. And today's rabbit hole is one of my favorites. Why do old things feel different? Because I've realized something about myself. I don't necessarily want expensive things. I want interesting things. And unfortunately, sometimes those interesting things can hold quite a lot of value. But give me that slightly chipped tiki mug from some restaurant that disappeared in 1972. Give me that weird painting from the thrift store. I cannot tell you what happened the other day at the thrift store. I almost cried and I said, okay, I'm not meant to thrift today, and I stopped. This couple pulled out the most incredible clown hand crocheted, hand cross stitched, huge, like 16 by 12, gorgeous, weird clown picture. And I was so upset it wasn't me, but I did tell them that they have to buy it. There's like, why are you even looking at this for longer than 2 seconds? Like, buy it now. Or give me somebody's old vacation slides. Any old photography, really, I just absolutely love. Give me the ridiculous necklace. I have a necklace with Mickey Mouse hands that are flicking off. I don't know why, but I love it. Give me the souvenir from a roadside attraction that doesn't exist anymore. Like anything from Tiki Gardens. That's the stuff that I want. Because new things tell you what they are. Old things make you wonder. And I think that's a huge part of why I love vintage. There's something really strange about objects, and we attach memories to them. Think about your own house. You probably own something that objectively is not worth very much money, but if somebody said, hey, I'll give you $20 for that, you'd immediately be like, absolutely not. Maybe it's something your grandmother owned. Maybe it's a souvenir from a trip. Maybe it's something your kid made. Maybe it's something you bought during a really important part of your life. The monetary value might be almost nothing, but the emotional value, completely different. And that's why I like to think of vintage shopping like treasure hunting. You're walking through people's memories. You're walking through people's once cherished things, and there could be many stories behind each object that you walk by, which that actually kind of sounds creepy now that I say it out loud, but we're going to keep it. Think about all the things that don't survive. Receipts get thrown away. Clothes wear out, especially in this fast fashion industry. Furniture breaks sometimes when you're building it. Restaurants close. Hotels get demolished. People move. Entire businesses disappear. But somehow a matchbook could survive. A cocktail glass survives. A postcard survives. Things can linger on from the past. And suddenly every little object becomes evidence that that place once existed. I really happen to love old restaurant and hotel memorabilia and things like I worked at TGI Fridays in high school, and it was during the TGI Fridays era where they wanted to take away all of the pins and go for a more sleek, professional look, which was ridiculous. Don't worry, I still had plenty of flair. But I still have a vintage Fridays button that I will never get rid of. People that collect swizzle sticks and trade swizzle sticks. I mean, it's mostly from older restaurants or hotels that haven't existed in years. And, at some point, somebody in 1965 grabbed that swizzle stick, threw it in their purse, and didn't think anything of it. 60 years later, someone's holding on to it like it's a piece of treasure and art. Meanwhile, back in 1976, the husband was probably like, "Why are you stealing a swizzle stick, Barbara?" Barbara knew. Barbara was preserving history. Thank you, Barbara. Now, I've talked in my previous episodes about my love for vintage souvenirs and how I got my mermaid from the Moldorama, and things like that excite me so much. And sometimes stores overdo it with the souvenirs, but I do always try to get some small souvenir. People used to bring home some seriously ridiculous stuff. Some businesses' souvenirs were outrageous. You went to Florida? Here's a coconut. You went to Niagara Falls? Here's a little silver spoon. You went to California? Here's an ashtray. You went to Hawaii? Here's a giant carved wooden fork and spoon set for your wall. How many of you guys have those? Yeah. Why? Because vacation, and I love it. There was no minimalist aesthetic saying, "Does this object bring peace into my space?" No. Does this 3-foot wooden fork and spoon remind me of my trip at Honolulu? Yes. Put it on the wall. That's the energy that I am here for. The amount of vintage Florida memorabilia is incredible, and not only does it show our history, so as a history lover, but it also is a piece of art that represents my state. And I love that. Okay, let's play a little game. I'm calling this If This Could Talk. I'm going to give you an object and we're going to imagine where it came from. Ready? Our first object is a chipped flamingo cocktail glass. I'm picturing Florida, 1963. A motel. Somebody is buying this ridiculous flamingo glass at the poolside gift shop. You know, the kind of pool that's kidney shaped. They take it home and they use it at every backyard party for the next 20 years. Eventually, it ends up in a cabinet, then a box, then an estate sale. And 60 years later, I'm standing there going, $6? Absolutely. So that's sort of the game. And basically, it's an object, and then we guess where it came from. Object number 2, a giant gold costume jewelry necklace. You know she has stories. You know she did. I don't know her name, but I'm gonna go with Fran. Fran did not wear this necklace to Publix. Fran wore this necklace when she wanted people to know that Fran has arrived. Big, gaudy gold necklace. What a fun story to tell. Object number 3, a postcard that was never mailed. I love this one. This one gets to me. Because somebody bought it with the intention of mailing it. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they decided not to. Maybe they just kept it as a souvenir. Or maybe they fell out of touch with that person that they had planned writing it to. But now you're holding on to it, and there's something really beautiful of this moment of the past. I love old postcards or old photographs. Speaking of vintage finds and stories behind them, I picked up a Halloween mystery bucket. Yes, I know it's only August, but it's there. It's time. And I thought it looked so fun. So let's open this fun mystery Halloween box together and see if we can think of where these items came from together. And if you're just listening, make sure to follow on Instagram so you can actually see what they are, but I will try to describe them to the best of my ability. From first glance, it doesn't look like there's too much vintage in here, but you never know. First, we got face makeup, much needed. And we've got some not vintage, but really cute Halloween cutout ghosts that I can stick to the wall. 3 packs of them. Got a black tablecloth. This is white cream makeup. Wait, the other one was white too. We got 2 white cream makeups. And this really cute pumpkin with a spider. Maybe the spider's extra. Maybe it's pinned the spider on the spider. Maybe it was a game. I don't know. But that would be cool if it was. Does that make sense? Blindly try to put the spider on the spider? Okay, to be honest, this is why I bought this mystery basket, were these amazing vintage looking Frankenstein head buckets. And so far there's 4 of them and I am very happy and excited about it. I don't know, should I make them earrings? Should I put them on my lights? I don't know. They're fantastic, and kind of that blow mold plastic vintage kitschy vibe to it. I knew I had to get it. So that's my favorite part. A black light bulb. I've got a bajillion of those. Okay, some peace sign earrings. If I ever want to be a peace loving person, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Gosh, a very glittery skull that used to light up. Maybe I can get batteries for it. I don't know. Sounds kind of broken. And if you know me at all, I love the look of glitter, but I do not like touching glitter. So this is truly a nightmare for me. Ooh, this looks fun. What is this? Kitty ears! Sparkly kitty ears with a weird rhinestone that fell off. Those are kind of cute. Ooh, neon pink false eyelashes. That actually could match my outfit and my hair. Ugh. This is all like twisted together. Oh, this is cute. Okay. A cat nose from Spirit Halloween. Do we think that this was from the same person? And they just ended up getting a cuter cat nose? I don't know. Professional makeup again. Real effects with deluxe case. Very cool. More falsies. These ones are black, I think. Yeah. 2 more of these. This one has a spider attached to it. I don't know if it comes like that or it was put like that, but that's so cute. I just love them so much. I don't know. I hope these are than 2005. I don't know. I'm gonna guess they're pre-2005. I could be totally wrong, and I'm gonna Google it. I think this was on him and see, but that completes the collection of my cute Frankie mugs. And if anyone has like seen these before at Target, Walmart, wherever, and you're like, no, those came out last year, tell me. Okay, let's get this bowl out. A cute bowl that says I'm batty for candy. Good. Another glittery skull. A clapper. Yay! What? Oh, it's a McDonald's toy. Wait, what do I do? I don't remember these. I guess they hid candy. They're little like the nugget guys, but yeah, look at the nugget guys. And then you can either get from the trap door here, or I guess that's how you fill it. And then you can take out your little candies one by one. That's cute. Boo! There's another one. There's 2. I wonder if this person had all of this together. Like these came from the same person, maybe. Okay, the other reason I bought this mystery box is because I saw him in it, and while we have a lot of bats in this house, there's always room for more, and I love them. And they've got the little feet that you can hang upside down. Beatrice? I don't know. We'll think of a name. Comment if you can think of a name for my bat. This is cute and looks very homemade. Oh, I love that. That's so cute. I wonder if it was, I mean, it looks a little advanced for a kid to make, but maybe it was for like some art club or something. I don't know, but that felt kitty is too cute. I am gonna say that this was made 10 years ago. I think it was made 10 years ago by a sweet little grandma who wanted to go trick-or-treating with her grandchildren, and this is what she made for decor for her grandchildren's room. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. It is a felt stuffed cat that is sewn with orange thread, and it has orange thread little bow whiskers and little green eyes with an orange hanger. That is so cute. Ooh, got creepy crawlies. Love creepy crawlies. Do do do. Doesn't. Oh no, he's not missing arms. Oh, look at this silly guy. He's like a ghost vampire clown witch. It's like all of the Halloween things in one. And it's one of those little seat, you put it at the edge of your shelf and he just rests on the edge of your shelf. That's so cute. I mean, it kind of looks like it could come from like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something, but I love it. Fake spider, always important to have around. Okay, there's a lot of glitter in the bottom, and I'm not okay. I cannot handle this glitter, and it's all like fall. Okay, I'm gonna get what I can out. There's fake vampire teeth, which I absolutely love. I have tattooed on my arm. I love the fake teeth. Do I think these were used before? Maybe, so I'm not putting them in my mouth. But they do look like they glow in the dark, which I love. And then there's a bunch of scorpions that look like they glow in the dark. But after that, it's like fall, y'all. And it's super glittery. I don't like it. That's a lot of glitter. So I am going to put that somewhere not around me. I will not be keeping those. If you like glitter and fall decor, let me know. I can send them to you. No problem. But that was my exciting Halloween mystery bag that I opened up. What was your favorite? You know my favorite were the Frankenstein candy bucket mugs. But I have to say, this cat surprised me, and it was a fantastic surprise. And I enjoy thinking of the story that this has involved. So tell me what your favorite piece was, or maybe I'm completely off and you have an idea about what one of these items past was all about. Maybe you want to explain to me what kind of kid had this McDonald's toy. Let's see, does it have a year? 1998. Woo! So if you had a kid in 1998, let's see, I was 12, so I wouldn't have collected these anymore. But super cute. Little candy holders. So I paid $9 for that entire mystery bucket. I think that's $9 well spent. I think with the 90s McDonald's toys and the Frankenstein heads and the makeup, I mean, that makeup at Target, that white face paint is more than I spent on this whole thing. So I am very happy with my Halloween bucket purchase. I definitely want to learn more about my Frankenstein and figure out when they were made, who sold them, because they are really special and just stinking cute. Maybe they came from the dollar store. I don't know. I don't care where they came from. It doesn't matter to me. I love them. So I posted a video a couple days ago about joining me thrifting, and I really enjoy sharing my experience with you and what I purchase and things that I left behind, because sometimes that could be someone else's white whale that they really want to have and collect. So, and I'm always down for purchasing it for you if it's still there and helping you out finding your dream treasure. All right. Another game. This one is Would You Buy It? I'm going to describe something that you might realistically encounter while thrifting. And you have to decide, are you going to bring it home or not? Is it a leave or take? Round 1. A 3-foot tall ceramic leopard. It weighs approximately as much as a toddler. One ear has been repaired and it's $45. Would you buy it? Now, a leopard, yes, I would buy. No matter what the condition. 45 is really steep unless I found it at an antique mall, then I understand. But for Goodwill, I just had a similar encounter today with a bird statue that was about 3 foot tall, and it would have been perfect to put out in the front yard. Very Florida, very tropical. And Goodwill is charging $40 for it. And I said, absolutely not. I will not be spending $40 on a ceramic figure that sits and does nothing else. But for the leopard, I don't know. I think that's a yes. And I don't have anywhere to put it, but that's future me's problem. Round two. You're already going to know my answer if you've listened to this podcast previously. A velvet painting of an unknown man. He's wearing a white suit. He's holding a martini, and there is a tiger behind him. $25. Would you buy it? You 100% know I'm buying it. I am definitely buying it. $25 for a velvet painting? Yes, please. Next question. Round 3. A box containing approximately 200 vacation slides from a family you have never met. $8. Would you buy it? I think I don't have a slide projector, so that would be a little difficult, but if it was the Instamat, the little InstaView things, then I absolutely would buy it. Because who are these people? Where did they go? And why are there 37 pictures of one hotel pool? I need answers. So yeah, I would buy it if it wasn't just slides, because I'm not going to be able to enjoy it with a slide. So round 5. I'm pretty sure you know the answer to this one too. A giant wooden tiki, 6 feet tall. $75. You drive a small car. Would you buy it? Would you leave it? This, for me, is not would you buy it question. It's how are you getting it home question, because we're obviously buying it. In one of my videos on Instagram where I take you along shopping with me, I talk a little bit about what specific areas I make sure I'm looking at and what kind of I'm always looking for. First, stuff no one else is looking at. Everybody checks the obvious sections, but sometimes the weirdest treasures are just sitting in the kitchen section, or the frames, or the costume jewelry, or a big plastic bag that you can't see what's all inside it. Or sometimes it's on a random shelf that the employees clearly did not know where to put something. That shelf? That's my shelf. I also think you have to learn to look past ugly presentations. I do enjoy that Goodwill color coordinates all of their trinkets and such, but I also love just hunting. Sometimes something amazing is hidden behind 15 Ray Dunn mugs, and you wouldn't have seen it if you didn't move over what you didn't want and actually search in the back of the shelf. The things I never leave behind, at least for the most part, if I'm thrifting and I see these, I'm probably most likely gonna get it. I'm always gonna get tropical vintage pieces, interesting jewelry if it has that 1960s aesthetic, or if it is something really bizarre and handmade. I love that. Old barware, definitely. Tiki mugs, obviously, which down here, I think the tiki has really risen in popularity down here in Florida. So it has become harder to find tiki mugs at thrift stores, but at an antique mall, I usually see if it's my one I've been wanting or a favorite or one that I must add to my collection, and I'll purchase it. Weird ceramics, like in that video. In my video on Instagram, I saw this handmade ceramic of a man sitting on a toilet. It was bizarre, but wonderful. I, however, did not pick it up, but somebody must have, because it was not there today. Definitely, I try to look for more vintage clothing and mid-century modern pieces. Old photographs, I love looking through them. I don't always buy them, but if there's something from like a Florida roadside attraction, then yeah, big score. And anything that makes me say, what is that? That's usually a good sign. I think for me too, when I'm looking at vintage clothes, I never really mind if there's a stain, or unless it's like really obvious, but luckily I never wear white, so that's not much of a problem. But if I'm selling something, I want it to be in a nicer condition. But if it's something for me and it has a stain or a wear or some hole, I don't mind it. The scratch doesn't scare me. A little fading doesn't scare me. Depending on the object, I'm okay with it. Depending on the article of clothing, I'm okay with it. And honestly, because sometimes those imperfections are part of the story. If I find a vintage 1960s barcloth Hawaiian dress, those stains are most likely a sign of a really good time. I think about this a lot, and I think I mentioned a little bit about this with my son. But I'm often wondering what in my house that's current, that's purchased currently, brand new, that will one day become a treasure or valuable, or what in 2075 might be someone's, oh my God, what is that moment? Like what is that? And they're going to go, oh my God, this is from 2026. They're going to be so excited to find this vintage piece, which that's horrifying to think that right now new things would ever become vintage, but it's going to happen. Just like these McDonald's toys, I was way over the age to want those, but those are super cool that I have them now. And it's kind of weird to think about, like, I'm not big into the whole Stanley Cup craze, but maybe someone that collects all the Stanley Cups when they come out, maybe that will be a priceless treasure one day. I don't know. Maybe someone's going to lose their mind when they find an old Trader Joe's tote bag. And suddenly we're the old people from that postcard or that framed image or that artist painting that a friend painted of you and your family, and now it's sitting in the thrift store. Oh, okay, I don't like that realization. Let's move on. Okay, I've got a challenge for you this week. And what I want you to do is I want you to find one object that you own that has a story. Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be important, doesn't have to be big. It literally can be the most insignificant thing as long as it has an incredible story. And I would love to hear that story. Take a picture, send it to me, and tell me its story because I would love to start sharing some of your finds on this podcast. We could even do an entire listener episode. The weird stuff you people own. I think I desperately want to be able to do that. The more I thought about this episode, the more I realized that maybe this is why I love vintage so much. It's not really about the old stuff, it's about the connection. It's about finding something from another time and deciding, you're coming with me. Maybe you know its history, maybe you don't. Maybe the story you imagine is completely wrong, but you become a part of that object's history no matter what. Someone owned it before you, now you're taking care of it. And maybe someday someone else will find it. That's a connection that is pretty wild and pretty cool. So keep looking at the weird shelf. Pick up the ugly lamp. Read writing on the back of the postcard. And if you can, if you're at a yard sale, a garage sale, ask where it came from. Ask where the story is. And if you find a 6-foot tiki for only $75, please call me because I'll definitely figure out how to get it home. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today on My Tie and Chill Radio. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the podcast, share it with your fellow vintage lovers, and send me a picture of your favorite vintage treasure and tell me that story. And remember, stay tropical, stay strange. I'll see you next time. Wait, before you go, I have one more would you buy it? A taxidermy alligator wearing sunglasses. Only $30. I'll give you a second. Yeah, we're buying it. Okay, bye.